Then I ain't going nowhere. I ain't blowing no smoke. I mean, I've been sober, but you should've known it. I wasn't going.
Good morning, buenos dias, hello. Blackheart gang, welcome back to my channel. It's pretty early, y'all, but we have a very jam-packed day today. I look like a hot mess, but I'm not about to look like a hot mess the whole day. Ahorita nos vamos a hacer un get ready with me. I'm gonna upload it on here with the video. We have a jam-packed day. We have an event with no one other than Rare Beauty, y'all. Today is the Rare Beauty Mental Health Summit. It is Mental Health Awareness Month, and honestly, I am super excited. You guys know that I am very big on speaking about mental health. I do it with my Blackheart moments. I love talking about mental health. I have gone through the ringer with my mental health, and for Rare Beauty to notice me and my mental health journey is honestly the most amazing thing. I suffer with severe anxiety, and my anxiety journey constantly is being hit all the time. So I am going to take you guys along with me. I am bringing my mama with me because this is a huge journey, and I am just super excited. This is going to be a really cool day for me. Honestly, I'm just really excited to be even invited. Y'all know I love my Rare Beauty girls. I love my Rare Beauty team. So the fact that I was invited is a huge deal for me. So if you guys are not a part of the Blackheart Gang broadcast channel, you guys should definitely be a part of the Blackheart Gang broadcast channel. It is on my Instagram. I let you guys know beforehand when I go to events. I also update you guys on my content, so you guys should definitely join that. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram in general because I sprinkle a little something in there for you guys. But let's get ready. Let's go ahead and enjoy our day. Let's go have fun. I am so excited for today. I'm so nervous too because I don't know what to expect. This is a yearly thing that Rare Beauty does. If you guys do not know, Selena Gomez and Rare Beauty have this thing called the Rare Beauty Rare Impact Fund, and I think her goal is to have like 100 mil for the Rare Impact Fund every year or something like that. And she's like very close to it, or she's like almost there. So the fact that she's doing that for the mental health awareness fund for her Rare Impact Fund is like huge, and I just think that's so amazing. And yeah, I just really am excited to go to see the talks. Also, I heard that Jay Shetty is gonna be there. If you guys know, I just watched the whole podcast episode with her and Benny, and I literally talk and quote that episode because I love how much emotional intelligence Benny Blanco has. So the fact that I can I honestly even just love Jay Shetty. Like, I read his book, so the fact that I can like actually see a whole talk about this in person is crazy. So let's get ready and let's do this. Alright, y'all, we are here. I'm gonna go get a mine. There's a pop-up. Hey, right here.
mobilizing $100 million for youth mental health by actively fundraising with corporate partners, foundations, our amazing community. So of our life. And to date, we've raised more than $20 million and support 30 nonprofit organizations around the world.
There we go. That's right.
Many of these organizations are here with us today, and you'll have the chance to hear from them.
I'm filming in New York, but I came back a little early.
I love you.
But genuinely, first, I just want to say thank you so much for everything that you're doing for the community. I know each of you individually, our speakers, our community partners, have revolutionized what we get to do. When you're I am so proud of Rare Beauty. The whole reason I started this was for fun, but the end goal was to always bring some sort of mental health access for people in every community, because I didn't have that, and I went through a very weird time in my life until I figured out I was bipolar and there was clarity there. And it seems scary for people, but it actually allows freedom and more conversation for people to talk about it when you release your own story. So I just wanted to say that I'm so grateful to be here. I want to thank my Rare Beauty team and everyone who's put on these incredible events for the main goal that we want to achieve with Rare. And also, we have a lot of new stuff coming out. I'm so excited. And I'm really stoked. But first and foremost, I'm going to stay. This is my native session, so I'm going to hang out. But just want you guys to know, I'm always grateful. This is what I'd rather be doing than anything else. So I love you guys so much. And
We love you. Thank you, Selena.
It's so important. I would say practice is we are used to people saying how you do it, and we usually say what? Fine and you. Or if you're religious, you might say I'm blessed, I'm better than blessed. And so as a practice to really build community care, I would just say to myself, let me answer the question honestly. The next time someone says how are you doing, fine may not be the answer, right? Either I'm being willing to describe that more so that I can lean into the truth. So coming home to myself is telling myself the truth and then living based on that truth. So I would ask you as a measure of how you're really doing, not to say how you look sitting in these chairs now, but 10 o'clock last night, 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock this morning, or when you get home tonight. So when you are by yourself without some of the pressures, then that's when our truth shows up. And so the ways in which we take care of ourselves or the ways in which we neglect ourselves tell the truth about how we're really doing.
Tell the truth.
Yes.
Tell the truth.
Yes.
So, in that truth telling, Dr. Jenny, if we're feeling overwhelmed on a regular basis, sometimes we can hide it, we can mask it, we get busy, we find ways to be busy and not productive, right? And so, if that's the case, you talk a lot about stress buffers. If you could just tell us, how do we build that emotional cushion when we're repeatedly exposed to more and more stress? Because that seems to be where we are as a community, as a society. It's happening over and over again, and it's a marathon. So how do we prepare for that marathon?
And let's just share a couple ideas, and one of them we can start with trying together is even just taking a moment to, slow down and slow down your breathing. If you breathe in for 5 counts through your nose by gently closing your lips, and breathe out for 5 counts. And if you're comfortable, you can also ever so slightly raise the upper corners of your lips into a half smile, a facial expression of serenity. So breathing in for 5 counts, and out for 5 counts just with your nose. Just in a matter of moments, this creates this calm alertness. A lot of us think of the pharmacy as something outside of us, but your body, you're a walking pharmacy if you know how to tune into yourself. Just quick things, and so a quick thing you can always do is kind of slow down and check in with yourself. Slow down your breathing rate, watch your facial expression, the snarling is just going to give your attention to you. And also, I love doing small things that have profound impacts. Doing something like creating a hope kit. If you're feeling hopeless, if you can put together a collection of objects that gives you hope, some favorite photos, some favorite quotes, a song that really touches you. I have a picture on my desk of my grandparents holding me as a baby. You don't need to do anything to feel loved or secure. It sounds so simple, but there's research that this actually helps people who are feeling suicidal or who have cancer. It actually creates real hope. So we need to be able to tap into certain things outside of us and also to tap into some things within us. And in terms of touching other people, I think a lot of times we feel overwhelmed by there's so much out there that's really hard. How can we actually move the needle? And it can be really overwhelming if we care deeply to feel like we have some impact. And I just love the idea today because one of my favorite studies
appreciate where you are in life. I truly feel connected to that. Now, I also want to say I've been to 4 rehab centers. A lot of what they're saying might seem not doable. You know, I had this one teacher tell me, if you smile while you're just walking down the street, it will affect you. And I was like, okay. And I did it, and I noticed this little uplifting moment that I have. Little things like that are going to seem so, you know, not doable, but they actually work. And then second of all, do it. Get rid of all of the people in your life that do not support you, that do not love you.
Exactly.
Encourage you to be the best version of yourself. I had to rid people of my life that I truly wanted a better life, and I have to do that. And it's hard, but it's also really important. So I'm so grateful, and again, please take care of this and everything else, as stressful as life can be. Just check in with you. I wouldn't be in a healthy relationship if I wasn't complete. I wouldn't be healthy in my career if I wasn't complete. I have to find that myself in order for everything else to happen to me. So I believe in all of you and all the sick things that are going to do in life, and I'm so honored to have been here.
You're doing great.
Now please welcome to the stage founder of Latinx Therapy, licensed trauma.
And it also leads to an increased ability to receive help and help others. So that's just a little taste of what we have an academic paper published by the end of the year. It's actually the topic of the next program. Tenderness is a force for social change.
Incredible. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think tenderness, especially in these days, is something that we definitely have, many of us, especially here in this room. But it's something that we can always continue to grow into, especially when we're feeling burnt out, right? I think the last time I was talking about that compassion, fatigue, and burnout overall. Now, Miles, I'd like to shift the focus to the incredible work you're doing at Trans Lifeline, which is a trans-led organization that connects trans people to community, resources, and support they need to survive and thrive. From your experience, what are key elements that support communities and community members in order for them to thrive? And how would you suggest that we can foster these key elements?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Something we joke about is how the phrase survive and thrive is like the trans movement's live, laugh, love. And as trite as it can become, we still use it. It's still a significant part, of our mission and what we orient our services and our programs around, because not only do we believe it's possible, but we believe we are going to be the ones, who create that for ourselves. So thriving is obviously some ways. It's housing, it's employment, it's living wages, and these kinds of material, ways to promote healthy, sustainable growth, in a person and in the community. But the one I really want to touch on is something that has allowed trans people and trans communities to endure, not just throughout human history, but especially right now in the political moment that we're facing, and that is this key element of resilience. And so resilience is not something that is about white-knuckling your way through oppression and marginalization. Resilience is about adaptability. It's about remaining flexible, nimble, dynamic, and a lot of research has been done around resilience. How do we establish that? What are the metrics for it? And for trans people, there are 5 pieces to resilience. The first is knowing yourself, having a very salient identity beyond Instagram bios and hashtags. Who are you? And being able to have a clear answer for that is so essential to resilience. 2 is knowing your resources. Where can you get help when you need it? And how can you build out that care network, in advance of needing that help? The third is being deliberate to cultivate community. Community, we all have our definition for it. It doesn't just happen. You build it, and especially for folks experiencing intersecting forms of marginalization, you have to go out of your way in order to establish spaces that are going to be affirming for you. The fourth is to commit yourself to a growth mindset, knowing and accepting that you don't know everything, and that's okay. We are learners, we are life learners, and being able to hold on to that is really essential. And the last, already touched on, and that is developing, the strength to not just know how to get help for yourself, but how to share that help with other people. helping each other is such an important part of forming trans resilience. Trans resilience is, I would say, the top element, of being able to thrive and support other folks in that endeavor as well.
And I believe with my whole heart that gathering in the spirit of healing and connection is happiness. Because in a world
Chin down a little bit. Yeah, right there. Ooh, right there, right there. Chin down a little bit more. Right there. Jump to the other side. Now show them near the blush. Yeah. Now put them on. Love.
Sure, I'm Valerie.Martinez.
even my body doesn't allow me to do everything. This particular thing I can do, that I can kind of finish, I feel good, I feel confident, it's something that I did, I'm expecting myself, and I have control.
And so maybe the skincare can be a powerful thing, but we also know that confidence isn't just about the way we look. It is about how we feel. How do you find confidence in your appearance?
When I was younger, if I wanted to have a good day, I had to have good hair, a good liner. I didn't care if everyone would say, oh, these are sisters, not twins, no, it's like actually I'm like, oh, we're good, we're not good. The older that I got to be, I realized confidence is when I walk into a room, before I talk to you, I know I have value. That's it. I should just me being there is enough. I don't need to please people, I don't need to look amazing. Life is sometimes amazing, sometimes you don't. But you need to get to know yourself. When I go out, sleep at night, I feel comfortable with the person that I am. In the long run, I try within the best of my ability to be a good person. That gives me confidence. It's beyond me.
Absolutely, yeah. So you don't know who you are. Being comfortable with who you are and also accepting every version of you. That's good, that everybody can do that.
Life has ups and downs. You're not gonna always look perfect, right?
Community and President of the Rare Impact Fund, Elise Cohen.
Oh my gosh, you guys, what a day. And hello to everyone who's still with us on the live stream, who maybe only has been waiting around for you to hop into the live stream. So it's been such a special day. Fun fact, Jay was with us for our very first Virginia Mental Health Summit virtually, when we had no idea what this.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I kind of do. I feel like refocusing what beauty means in the industry and looking at it from an internal place versus on the surface.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I love that. Round of applause, please.
And I support me back there.
Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else? Yes.
Yeah, I run an NGO, so really providing opportunities for people to get back in whatever they're passionate about is something that will project. It's something I'm really passionate about. So figuring out ways to reach out kids as young as 3 years old and as old as 8 years old can get back in and contribute to the community.
I love those answers. Thank you for sharing both of those. What was your name? Shreya, thank you so much. Those are such. The reason I love both of those answers is because they have two qualities. They're timeless and they're universal. What I mean by that is your purpose becomes really hard to do if it's tied to a job, a title, a position, a role you play. Whereas when your purpose is something that you can do at any time, anywhere, no one can take it away from you because it's not tied to a location, it's not tied to a job, it's not tied to a place. All of a sudden it becomes powerful. But the reality is, in our daily life, we're all living jobs, titles, roles, places we have to be. So if your question is, how do we look back into that purpose when we're missing it? The first one I'm going to say is solitude, time alone. The times when you feel most distracted from your purpose are the times when you're listening to everyone else. You've been hearing so much noise, you're hearing all these opinions, you're hearing about everything that everyone else is doing, and you feel disconnected from yourself because you actually can't hear yourself anymore. It's like you're so distracted by the noise, and so whenever I'm feeling disconnected from my purpose, I always try to tell myself, I'm just going to spend this evening by myself. And I know that if I spend this evening by myself, a couple of hours, I'm going to be able to hear that inner voice again. So that's the first thing I do. And the second thing I do is I try and figure out who is it or what is it that always reminds me of why I exist and why I'm here on earth. It could be your favorite speech, it could be a favorite quote, it could be a favorite scripture, it could be talking to your mom or dad, it could be whatever it is. But it's knowing what that one habit is that reconnects you back and being able to call upon it whenever you need it. So for me, it's being with my mentors and teachers, and I know that if I reach out to them, I'm going to feel instantly connected. I know that if I turn them on Spotify or whatever it may be, I'm going to be instantly connected. And wherever I am in the world, those two things will always help me. But those two examples of purpose were beautiful, and I'm so grateful to hear those. Thank you for sharing that. The change in the world has happened from a group of ordinary people. What I mean by that is all extraordinary change has happened when a group of ordinary people came together because they care. And because they care with all their heart. And the choice you get to make is whether you want to be one of those people or not. It's as simple as it is. All it takes is one conversation, one connection, one moment, one word, one message, one hug. And the choice we get to make every day is whether we want to be one of those people who comes together to make that extraordinary change, or whether we want to be a part of it, or whether we choose not to. And I think everyone in here, just by showing up today, has clearly shown that they already are one of those people who's chosen to be here. So I'm really excited to see the change you're going to make. I look forward to bumping into all of you in 5 years, 10 years, 25 years, and us looking back at this moment and thinking about all the incredible work you've done, how the world has changed, the positive outcomes, the challenges you've overcome, the stories that you've shared, the people that you've helped. Like, I genuinely look forward to 5, 10, 15, 25 years from now knowing the millions of people that were helped because of the people in this room. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you for letting me be a small part of your journey. Thanks so much.
Alright, y'all, we're done. Going home now. It's time to go. It honestly was a good day. We had such a good time. And there's some nice stuff. But yeah. The maquillaje still on. Mama vlogging. Are you looking at me? Myself in the camera. Jesus. Alright, y'all. So we had such an amazing day at the Rare Beauty Mental Health Summit. I'm home, I'm relaxing, I am literally taking in every moment from today. I am just kind of dabbling in to everything and just like enjoying and taking in everything. I just watched back the video of me telling Selena during her speech that I loved her, and literally y'all can see she reacted and she's like saying that she loved me because she's noticed me. Y'all, manifesting. And if y'all can see, I posted it on the broadcast channel right here. Meet Selena, Rare Beauty Collective and events. I manifested it. Work with Rare Beauty, Rare Collective. I manifested it, like that I'm going to be like working with Rare Beauty. I'm going to be like a part of the Rare Collective. I'm going to be attending the events, and I'm going to be meeting Selena Gomez. It's going to be happening, and it's happening. The fact that like I get to do this, the fact that I'm working with a brand that honestly is centered around mental health, is centered around someone who genuinely believes in the things that I believe in, the team that, you know, it's like literally so sweet and so welcoming. The first event that I attended with Rare Beauty, literally they welcomed me in so kindly and so warm. It's just a beautiful thing, and I'm legit like so happy and so blessed to be surrounded by such amazing people and such amazing blessings, and not just only for myself, for my family, for my friends, and the people that I get to bring with me. So, you know, I want to thank Rare Beauty for allowing me to be in such a beautiful space, allowing me to even just be there. It was so beautiful to hear the people talking, to hear the Rare community just like speak their mind. The fact that there was somebody there, and I'm gonna tag her name on here. Her name is Aspen. I connected to her story because she was talking about how she has Bell's palsy, and if you guys know that I suffered with Bell's palsy for about 2 years or 3 years of my life, and Bell's palsy never really goes away. If you guys can see, my face is never gonna be fully symmetrical. Nobody's face is ever fully symmetrical, but I suffered for Bell's palsy like twice. And she was talking about how she has Bell's palsy, and I connected with that. And as soon as I heard her say it, I turned around and I was like, whoa, you know, like I suffer from Bell's palsy, and I had it in a time of my life where like I never knew anybody who had it, and we didn't even know what the hell it was. Like I had it when I was 16 and 18 in 2 huge times of my life. Like it was super crazy too. We were talking about like huge moments where we were talking about grief, and then we were talking about just our stories and stuff like that. And it was a big deal for me because if you guys know, like I am someone who has suffered from anxiety and suffered from depression and a bunch of like other things. I've dealt with it in some of the most healthiest ways. I've dealt with it in some of the not most healthiest ways. And the fact that, you know, I see people talk about their stories and talk about these things just very openly, and we had a safe space to talk about it, was so beautiful. We did like a bunch of activities, and I'm going to share them with you guys. So if you guys want to see that, I'm gonna talk about them with you guys. So you guys are gonna see like the clips and videos of what I was able to get. But like the first panel talked about community, identity, and tenderness. The power of collective compassion. We had Dr. Thema Bryan and Dr. Jenny Tates. I'm probably saying that wrong, but we were basically talking about compassion and how, you know, people like react to that. And I put like clips and stuff of how people were discussing that. The next panel was talking about community, identity, and tenderness. We had Mina, Miles, and Leanne. Miles is a director for Trans Lifeline, and he has a huge impact because if you guys know, a lot of people do not understand trans people, and a lot of people do not include them and are not super inclusive, and do not understand their identities, and sometimes are not super big on bringing them into the community. And he basically gave us insight on how, if you look around and don't see a trans person in the space or in your space, and that means that they're not included, that's a problem. That they're not that the brand or whatever like space you're in is not inclusive to trans people, or whatever like it may be. It may not even be trans people. If you're looking around and you don't see yourself in, like, say if it's not even like me, say if I don't see myself in the room, like it's like, oh, I don't see Latinos, I don't see African Americans, or I don't see something like representation in the room. That's what they were talking about. They were also like talking about like different forms of community, like how we awaken tenderness, and how you basically find yourself through, finding your safe space, and just kind of allowing yourself to be able to just kind of sit there and find yourself through somebody else. And I don't know how I can explain the tenderness to you guys, because Nina kind of did like a guided meditation, and if I was able to record that, you guys would like completely understand. I just didn't want to record that because my experience with the guided meditation at first was very freeing at first, but then, if you guys know me, I'm a super overthinker. So at first, when I sat there and closed my eyes, my brain was completely free, and she started talking, and my brain started just like adding things that she was saying, and then boom, I felt the sudden like thoughts of overthinking from what she was saying, and then everything my brain was adding, and I was trying to like the regular breathing in and out of what she was doing, like telling me and everything, and I was just like, at first I was cool, but then afterwards I was like, nah. So I just kind of tried to zone all of that out. Then we had our lunch. We had pizza. The pizza, y'all, was actually really, really good. And then we had some bowls that I'm probably gonna eat tomorrow because I took some bowls home. Then we had a fireside chat with Judith, who I got to meet. She was super, super sweet. We both had the same last name. She's the director of social impact and inclusion for Rare Beauty. Jessie Gold, who is a psychiatrist and chief wellness, and she wrote a book. We have Samantha, who she's honestly really young. She spoke beautifully. She's like the same age as my sister, and she spoke beautifully. She's a chief of staff for this beautiful thing called Letters to Strangers, which is you write a letter to a stranger, and it's basically what it is. It's basically writing a letter to a stranger of how you're feeling, if you want to let out something, or if you want to share something, type of vibe. She did amazing. She spoke really well. I think she's amazing. Then we had Mr. Ashanti Branch. He's the founder and executive director for Ever Forward Club. Honestly, he also did an activity that he started. It's called like the front and back mask activity. It's a mask activity. You put 3 characteristics in the front of your mask and 3 characteristics on the back of your mask. The front of your mask is 3 characteristics that people do see, and in the back of your mask is 3 characteristics that people do not see. For me, on the front of my mask, I put creative, loud, and what did I put? Creative, loud. I forgot what I put for the last one. Y'all. But on the other side, I put anxious, hopeless, romantic, and sweet and scared. I don't really let people know that I'm sweet. You really have to get to know me in order to know that I'm sweet. I really don't ever let anybody know that I'm scared. I put on a big front to let people know that I'm a hard ass, because I don't really like people knowing. I don't really think people know that I'm anxious all the time. I am constantly anxious. My hands are always shaky, my legs are always shaking because of my anxiety, but people don't really see that all the time. And hopeless romantic is, I always say that I don't really give a fuck about love, fuck love, all this shit, but I'm a hopeless romantic. I still believe in love, I still want to fall in love, and all that good stuff. So that is what I wrote on my mask activity. The next panel we had was with Cynthia DeMille. If you know Miss Cynthia DeMille, she's the director of global artistry for Rare Beauty. I love my girl Cynthia. She literally is the best. She does the masterclasses for Rare Beauty, and y'all know I always be doing the masterclasses for Rare Beauty because I learned always something from Cynthia. And then she brought in a content creator and accessibility advocate, which is Tara Singari. I'm probably pronouncing that so bad, I'm so sorry. But we're talking about how to make beauty more accessible, especially for people who have disabilities, because Tara has a disability because I think she had arthritis, but she has a specific kind of arthritis. I think it's RA. And Rare Beauty's packaging in specific helps so many people because their packaging is so easy to open for so many people, and we love that. Honestly, I love that Rare Beauty's packaging is like the easiest thing to open. It is perfect. So I love that they were talking about glam and talking about how accessible it is to so many people. Then we had the workshop of resilience building with the Jed Foundation with Dr. Katie Hurry. Honestly, I loved her segment because it basically was the resiliency story. It basically talked about how to create your story in a way that builds resilience and connection. So you were given this little worksheet, and the first thing you do is write one word that describes how you're showing up today, and I put to be present or aware, and that was my words. And then we started with our storytelling. So she wanted us to start about how does my story start, or like a story of how my resilience started. And if you guys know me, a big way that I feel like I was able to build myself as a person was when I experienced my heartbreak. I was able to just kind of build myself up, and I built myself up from the ground up because I completely broke myself. And I said, the next one was, when did things change? I said, I moved back home. I experienced anxiety for the first time completely. The internet judged me or supported me, and a lot of things came out into the light. The next thing is, how did you cope? I said, I started expressing myself on the internet and with family, trying not to let the opinions of others affect me. I went to therapy. I finally healed by letting toxicity go and having fun and understanding that this person had no control over me anymore. And how do you do things differently now? I do things differently now by not letting people treat me as toxic as they did before, building a wall so that I know someone has to work in order to have me, and that someone who is meant for me will work for me to love me the right way. Also, not to completely share absolutely everything on the internet, especially when it comes to my love life. So those were like all the the activities that we did. Besides that, you guys saw on Instagram, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I will show you, tomé unos fotitos at the photo booth, so that's one of them. And then when we got in, I took a picture in the front, and then we got these in the little carrito. They're little sunflowers. And then these are our bags that were waiting at the chairs. And then inside, I also sent a carta to my sister at her dorm, so hopefully she gets it. I got some Nerds gummy clusters, another Nerds gummy clusters, a ring pop, una hamburguesa, y otro hamburguesa. I think that's it for my candy. Alright. Okay, and in the bags, we get the Find Comfort, Awaken Confidence, Body and Hair Fragrance Mist. Period. We get the Soft Pinch Matte Liquid Blush in Grace. We get my favorite shade of the Soft Pinch Tinted Lip Oil in Delight. Honestly, I love this shade. This is the shade that I wore at the back to school event. So if you guys watched that video, this is the shade that I wore. And we get the Perfect Strokes Mascara Universal Volumizing Mascara in black. Y'all, if you want a good mascara, this is your gal. And honestly, the eyeliner that I'm wearing today is the Perfect Strokes liquid eyeliner. But this is a great mascara, so definitely recommend her. But yeah, this is what came in the bolsa, and this is the bolsa. So yes, honestly, I am so thankful for Rare Beauty. Honestly, I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Son mis favoritas. You guys know, like I said, I am manifesting multiple things with y'all. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much. Love y'all. And if you guys like this video, you guys already know, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in next week's video. Bye y'all.